Imagine sitting in a tiny, freezing garage in the middle of nowhere. Your hands are completely numb, you are 8 years old, and your father is scraping together the last few dollars in his wallet just to buy one set of used tires. Every single kid around you has shiny trucks, private mechanics, and parents who drop cash like it is water. You have nothing. If you crash today, you do not just lose the race. Your family cannot afford to fix the frame. That is $0. That is where this path actually begins. Most people look at a modern Formula One driver and they see Monaco. They see private jets, hypercars, and a mind-blowing $490 million fortune. They think it is a glamorous fairy tale. They have no idea about the absolute psychological torture required to reach that grid. Because before anyone hands you a multi-million-dollar contract, you have to survive a system designed to destroy you. When you are 14, you are driving at speeds that should terrify a grown adult. Your neck feels like it is on fire. Your heart is pounding at 180 beats per minute. And inside your helmet, the air is boiling. You learn very quickly that racing is not about passion, it is about survival. Every corner is a multi-thousand-dollar gamble. If your foot slips for a fraction of a second, you hit the concrete wall, and when that carbon fiber shatters, your father's bank account shatters with it. You see the look in his eyes every time you pull into the pit lane. He is not just watching his child. He is watching his entire life savings, riding on 4 hot pieces of rubber. The pressure is invisible, but it weighs more than the engine behind your head. And then, just when you think you cannot push any harder, you hit the wall of the upper categories. This is where talent stops being enough. To get into Formula 3 and Formula 2, you need hundreds of thousands of dollars every single year. If you do not have a rich sponsor, you have to sign away your soul. You sit in dark office rooms, signing documents you barely understand. You sell percentages of your future income to wealthy investors. Just to buy a seat for one season, you are no longer a kid with a dream. You are a financial asset, and if you do not deliver results within 3 races, those investors disappear. Your seat is given to someone else's child, and your career ends before it even started. You sleep in tiny motorhomes, eating basic food, watching driver after driver pack their bags and go home. They were fast, they were dedicated, but they ran out of money. That thought haunts you every single night. What happens when the cash runs out? Then, the call comes, an F1 team manager reaches out. They have a seat, but it is not a reward, it is an execution date. You are stepping into the elite ring, where 20 drivers on the entire planet compete for survival. You sign your first real contract. A few $100,000 to anyone else, that sounds like a fortune, but in this world, it is a drop in the ocean, because now, you are sitting inside a machine worth $12 million. You pull out onto the track in Melbourne or Spa, and the world turns into a blur. At 300 kilometers per hour, your brain does not have time to process thoughts in words. It processes imagery and instinct. The G-force hits your body like a brick wall on every single corner. 5 times your body weight, pulling at your skull, crushing your lungs, trying to rip your head off your shoulders. Your body loses up to 4 kilograms of fluid in 90 minutes. You are suffocating inside a fireproof suit, sweating profusely, while trying to hit a brake target, precise to the millimeter. If you brake 2 meters late, you destroy a machine worth millions. If you brake 2 meters early, your teammate passes you, and your career begins to die because your teammate is your worst enemy. In Formula 1, you are judged against one person first. The guy in the identical car. If he beats you, the team assumes you are the problem. The telemetry tracks every single thing you do. They can see if your throttle application was 2% slower. They can see if your foot hesitated on the brake pedal for 5 milliseconds. There are no hidden secrets. Your fear is measured in lines on a computer screen. Shown to 50 engineers sitting in a glass box, you quickly realize you are surrounded by hundreds of people, yet you have never felt so completely alone. And then, you realize there is a shadow side to this paddock that television cameras never broadcast. Welcome to the political minefield. It is not just about who is fastest on Sunday. It is about who plays the filthiest game behind closed doors on Thursday night. You sit at dinner with your team principal, and you realize he is secretly talking to 2 other drivers to replace you for next season. To survive, you have to become ruthless. You start leaking telemetry details to the press to make your teammate look slow. You manipulate pit stop strategies with your race engineer, ensuring you get the fresher set of tires during crucial qualifying laps. You build secret alliances with engine manufacturers, and you learn how to weaponize contract clauses just to keep your seat. If you remain a clean, innocent athlete, you will be chewed up and spat out into the dust before your first contract expires. Then comes the physical cost that no money can ever cure. Your spine is compressed by thousands of violent bumps every weekend, leaving you with permanent, agonizing back pain at 25 years old. You suffer from chronic microconcussions, from the high-frequency vibrations shaking your brain inside your skull for hours. You take painkillers before stepping into the car, just to endure the agony of 90 laps. Your hearing begins to fade, ruined by years of deafening engine roars, leaving a persistent, endless buzzing sound in your ears when the room goes quiet. Your youth is slipping away, eaten alive by brutal training regimens, rigid diets, and non-stop travel across 24 countries. You do not have a personal life. You do not have a genuine relationship. You are a biological machine, maintained solely to operate a piece of ultra-expensive metal. And then comes the money shift. You win a race, then another. Suddenly, the global corporations realize your face can sell luxury watches, energy drinks, and sportswear to hundreds of millions of viewers. Your salary jumps from 500,000 to 5 million, then 20 million, then 50 million a year. You pack your bags and move to Monaco. You buy a penthouse overlooking the Mediterranean. You buy high-end yachts, custom sports cars, and tailored suits. You pay 0% income tax. On paper, you have won at life. You went from a cold garage with $0 to an elite fortress of absolute wealth. You step into the ultra-exclusive global jet-set ecosystem. Billionaires, royalty, and global CEOs now line up just to stand near you in the paddock. You are invited to private islands, mega-yacht parties, and closed-door investment summits. You are no longer just earning a salary. You are given equity shares in multi-billion-dollar tech funds, luxury real estate ventures, and private equity firms. Your wealth is no longer just money in a bank account. It is expanding like a global empire. Every single hour of your life is monetized. Your helmet is a rolling billboard worth millions. Your social media posts trigger contract payouts that could buy a house. You sit at tables where deals worth tens of millions are closed with a simple nod over champagne. You have reached the absolute summit of human status. But watch what happens to your mind when you reach the top. The money creates a wall between you and the rest of humanity. You can no longer walk down a public street without bodyguards. You cannot trust new people who enter your life, because every conversation feels like a transaction. Are they talking to you because of who you are, or because of the brand you have become? You spend 300 days a year living in air-conditioned hotel rooms, jet-lagged, isolated, surrounded by people who whisper yes to every word you say. Your old childhood friends, back in that cold garage town, fade away. Their lives move forward with families and simple joys, while your life becomes a high-speed corporate bubble. You trade genuine human connection for absolute isolation, and inside the car, the stakes get even crazier. When you are earning tens of millions, the expectations are terrifyingly absolute. The team owner does not care if you have a cold. The sponsors do not care if you are mentally exhausted. They expect perfection on every single lap. Because behind you, standing in the pit lane, is an 18-year-old kid with millions in backing, waiting for you to stumble. He wants your seat, he wants your salary, he wants your empire, so you drive even harder. You push your body past its physical limits. You take risks on wet asphalt that make your heart freeze, because you know that stopping means falling into irrelevance. You spend your late 20s and early 30s in this hypervigilant state of high-alert panic. Every race is a battle for self-preservation. Every contract negotiation is a bloody war between management, lawyers, and corporate titans. Your net worth climbs higher and higher. 100 million, 200 million, 400 million. You invest in global business franchises, technology startups, luxury real estate empires, and custom classic vehicle collections. You have built a financial fortress that will protect your family for 5 generations. You have conquered the system. You have reached $490 million